Oh, my darling. Right, preparing to live stream, and then I've got to just share. Right, let's see if that's all working.
You're looking gorgeous, as always.
Oh, you little beauty, you. Hold on. No, thanks. Just close that down. Close this. Oh, gosh. Close. 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 Oh, I've got so many things open. Why have I all of a sudden got a million things open? I don't know.
Oh, I had to close down. I had to restart my computer the other day to pick up the script, and I had 63 programs open.
That's about the state of mind. Hold on, let's have a look. So let me just get my brain is like, you know, when your brain just isn't quite with it. Do you get that? I don't know. Quite a regular occurrence.
Oh, often, yeah.
Oh my gosh, hold on, let's just share that copy link. Okay, and I'm going to paste it on here. Paste. Okay, live therapy, chats, focus, and choice. We all have it.
We so often don't realise.
I know. That's the thing. We have more choice than what we think.
Absolutely. I'm always going on about it in my life.
Yeah. Well, I think when we're stuck in a rut, it just feels so endless, doesn't it? It feels so endless when everything's just, you know, and that we do have lack of choice. It feels that way, doesn't it, sometimes? But when you actually focus on the thing that we actually ultimately really would like, and there are choices. We have choices. Are you there? Yeah, well, I think we're good. I think we're live. I'm going to say good morning. So good morning, everybody. We are here. Yes, we are. We are today. I'm with Linda. Yes, I am. My gorgeous girl who looks absolutely gorgeous today. Fitness personified on my screen. And today, my Friday, last week, we didn't do one because my journey is quite an interesting one, because the last 3 weeks my house has been completely, I mean, every single room practically has been a building site. Like, I had a bathroom fitted. Okay, so this NLP room, which is now kind of like clear, happy days, but this was full of bathroom stuff. My lounge was full of bathroom stuff and being walked all the way through. Ethan's room was a building site where he's getting a new bathroom. He had that put in. My bedroom, they had to dig through the floors through there. So I had no bedroom. Then through my bathroom, all my tiles came up, new shower put in and everything. And today, well, I have a house. I'm flipping grateful of that. I'm grateful. So we're at the end of a long journey. But if I'd have thought about it before, as I was saying to you before, wasn't I, Linda? If I'd have thought about the blimmin' upheaval, you know, there's never a good time, is there?
No, you would never choose that.
I never choose it. No,
if you knew that's what you were choosing.
That's right. But do you know what? Because when you're in the state of the present and you just think, well, why not? You know, because that present state, that really is a resourceful state, isn't it? Because that is the state where you can then literally go, well, now's the time. Because there really is never a good time to upheave the whole house. But if it needs to be done, it's got to be done, you know? So I just chose to do it then, which is actually quite a good choice, because Ethan's back at school on the 8th with a bit of luck, 8th of March. So he's got his room back, which is absolutely brilliant. So today, for our NLP therapy chats, we're going to be talking about choice and focus. Because at this time, I've had a lot of clients come to me, oh gosh, they're stuck in a rut. And they're going back to what they know, thinking that will be okay. But the reason, and I'm talking in general about maybe old relationships. So, for example, one of my clients is very, very lonely on the love side, you know, missing that connection, that everything connection, the hugging, the kissing, the being there, the emotional, spiritual, all of those kind of connections. And the ex is an ex for a reason. He's, you know, he was not a very nice person to her in very many ways. So, but because that's the last relationship, all of the good stands out in her mind rather than the reality, you know. And what she's missing is the connection. And I think at this time, at the moment, more than any time, the first lockdown was difficult, but everybody was connecting a lot, Zoom, and they were doing a lot of, you know, it was very proactive. It was a fight. It was like, yes, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna connect, we're gonna conquer this. But this time, I've had a feeling so many people are just blipping tired. They are tired. And although, you know, it seems like there is a light at the end of the tunnel now, which is a beautiful thing, you know, with Boris opening up things and, you know, things maybe hopefully potentially becoming kind of normality. It's still uncertain and it's still a long flipping stretch and people are just tired. I mean, I'm tired. I'm tired myself because it's kind of like I get phone calls. I had a phone call with my manager for my urban cookie manager about 3 days ago now. And it was lovely to speak to him. And there's loads of gigs coming in, you know, and I got that warm feeling in my stomach and it was like, oh, this is wonderful. You know, because I haven't kept a diary. I said to him, look, don't tell me anything. I don't want to know. Just book it in. If it happens, it happens. Because there's no point. It get cancelled and all those. There's no point. Tell me when we start. And then when I start, I said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not planning on going on holiday. I just, you know, just dealing with it presently, do what I can do when I can. And but that little feeling was there, that beautiful, warm feeling, that excitement, that spark inside, that little ignition, you know. And it was an excitement. And but then present. We're back in the present and it's like, hold on a minute. You know, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, well, I'm still very happy doing what I'm doing. You know, I love doing what I do. This is who I am. So it's brought out that whole side of me. That was my choice at the beginning. When we're talking about choice, I chose to focus on what I could do. And it's a blessing. It's a flipping blessing. But it's also, it's still long. You know what I mean? There's no control there. We can't control the external. All we can control is what we're feeling inside. And that's what I was saying. My client was stuck in this old relationship and wanting to go back because that's what she knew, you know. But then given the choice, my advice to her is to focus on self-love, because all these things that she's missing, yeah, you can't give yourself certain things that you can get in a relationship per se, but what you can do is replace any emotions that you're missing by looking after yourself and giving your body and your soul and something to feed on, the things that make you happy. And that's all we can do, because we are in an uncertain world externally, but we can be certain internally. And I think that's a really powerful state to be in. So I was saying, my 30-day challenge, you know, my confidence challenge I did at the beginning of lockdown. I said, just if you gave yourself, your brain likes to have structure. And the thing is, there's not much structure out there at the moment. We can't really structure anything externally. We can't plan anything really. All we can do is focus on the now. So if you've got a 30-day set, so you're dedicating yourself every day to a different task, then you can, on those days that you're feeling that separation anxiety or pain or loss or connection, anything that you're feeling negatively, if you can switch that focus, if you can switch that focus into a structured, okay, today I'm doing gratitude, so I'm going to focus back onto that, and just give your brain something else to think about, something else to focus on, because focus is so powerful, and we are what we focus on. So it's a powerful being. What do you think, Linda?
Yes. Yes, and I have had clients in the same situation as you're speaking of. And what we did there was I asked her to remember that there was a price to pay for those things that she was missing. And she readily understood that. She readily accepted there was a price to pay. So when she would mention it, like, oh, but I'm just feeling that, you know, this was so lovely and we were going to do this and it would be so lovely. A few times I said, yes, but remember the price. Yes. And then another time, but remember the price. Yeah. And then I thought, we need to know the price.
Yeah.
This is not helping her. So I asked her, what is the price? What was the cost to you? And she was really working hard, and she went inside and was quiet. And then she said, my soul. That was the price she had to pay. So I've been encouraging her to, every time she feels that missing, to remember the price was her soul.
Oh, bless her.
And nothing is worth giving away your soul, is it?
It's
and
like,
it might be a different price for different people, but I think all it's not always women, is it? All people that have been manipulated in a relationship can be led to that point to find what it costs them, what it actually costs them, and then we're left with choice, aren't we? This is where we are left with choice. So we understand what we're missing. We understand how bad we feel at this moment in time, and we understand the cost. We understand all of that, but that's more of that's more of a logical way of looking at it, isn't it? Which is not always very powerful for us. Yeah, we can. Yeah, I know. And in the end, no doubt, if I kept reminding her all the time, in the end, she'd be feeling it would have worn off. Yeah. No, I don't think that was the cost after all. So we've got to look for something else.
Yeah.
And I think what we've got to look for is that resource we have that we often forget. We often don't choose to use it, and that is choice. And I think that's why, because you've two levels of choosing there, haven't you?
Right.
In order to use your choice, you have to choose to do that. And we've all got it, and we've all got it in all situations, I believe. I don't believe there is a situation. No, I don't think there's a situation where we don't have it. You might be at death's door, you might be dying. You've still got choice. You've still got a choice on how good a death you're going to have, on how you're going to see it.
Well, the only lack of choice is when you actually are not here anymore. That's the only choice that you don't have. Yeah,
and then someone else or something else will take over. So as we I find it useful to step back when we see that there are things we're not doing.
Yeah.
It's useful to step backwards a level, isn't it? So, well, why are we not doing it?
Yeah.
And I think we're not doing it because of habit.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a habit of just, I feel. And it's all out there and it can't be changed.
Yeah.
That's just the habit, isn't it? So
and
we need to put in a new habit, the new habit of
replace it.
Looking for what are my choices.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the first time I've thought of it this way, so I don't have a clever trick to hand.
No. Well, you see,
but there will be a way, won't there, of triggering.
That's exactly what I was thinking, because with my client, she instantly goes back to the image of the good times. That's the
Mm.
instant reversion. And it doesn't have to just be in a relationship. It could be, you know, past times in your life that you're reverting back to. But like with an old relationship that doesn't serve her in any sense of the word, she's reverting back to that imagery of the good. But the reality was so very different. So if you can use NLP to change that picture by changing
we could collapse those anchors.
And see that, because when you remind her of those other images of when it wasn't so perfect, she can visualize that. So if we can move those pictures into the place where she's seeing the old, the happy pictures, there we go. And your brain's going to revert back to the picture there. And that's an instant, you know, hold on a minute, it isn't all butterflies and rainbows. It was reality. It was pain. It was pressure. It was anxiety. It was a whole myriad of things in that moment.
Yeah.
So we can move that there.
It's a whole lump of misery generally, isn't it? Because there's always anxiety about what is that other person, what mood are they going to be in? You don't know.
No, that's exactly. And when you move that picture, that's exactly it. You have to replace that thought, because there's a thought there. You have to give yourself something, because otherwise, what are you thinking of? The negative. So in return for that, by replacing, that's what I was saying about my 30-day course. If you've got 30-day structure where you're on a certain day of that course, or whatever it is, whatever course you do, or whatever you choose to do on that day, like listen to music or inspirational speech or whatever it may be, if you can replace that initial trigger with something kind for yourself, self-love, yeah? So the old version doesn't serve you, but this will serve you, you know? And if you can do that and just replace that thought, that's opening up new doors. And yes, it doesn't solve the connection problem. It doesn't solve the lack of touch, the lack of, you know, those things. But what it does give you is some love, some self-love, some kindness, some happiness, some light. You know, that it gives you some light, and that's all we can do right now.
And I think the other thing that is important, there was a third thing, you know, when you were entitling it, there was a third thing.
Yeah.
Because we need it now. And that is intention.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you intend from this? Do you intend to wallow for a while and then go back if that partner would have you? Is that what you intend? Or do you intend to become the person you were created to be, and live the life that then is available to you? And if you choose that, then all of your choices have to match that intention, don't they?
Absolutely.
And if you're not doing that, if you're not matching your choices to your intention, then you may as well give up. Just give up, because you're only going to be left with choice one.
That's right.
with solution one, which just go back anyway. And
to make changes, you have to change, and to do something that you're uncomfortable in doing, because you'll find comfort in the uncomfort. You know, because when we're trapped in a comfortable pain almost sometimes, and by breaking out into
familiar pain.
That's right. And breaking out into the unchanging something, you have to change to create change. So I was suggesting, you know, things like, because she loves to walk, she loves to cycle. How about throwing a message out on a local community group and getting a group of, you know, she's done with the dating sites. The dating sites are not serving her in any way, shape or form. You know, she's getting a lot of problems there. So change, she has to change. It's not easy. Anything worthwhile doesn't have to be easy. It can be easy if you're flowing, but it's not always easy. And to find the easy route, you have to change what you know, change your patterns, and, you know, throw out, get a walking group together. Who might turn up? throw it out to the neighbouring cities. Yes, okay, we can't be close contact, but that doesn't say that we can't go out walking with someone, or we're not allowed to in the really near future anyway. But I think you're allowed to have outside walks. I'm not really sure what you can and can't do nowadays, to be honest.
Oh, I've lost track entirely now. I do know.
I don't know.
But I think you can go out with one person now. Now you could meet one person for exercise, so that could be a walk. And I think what's coming, whenever it comes, is that you could sit down with that person and have a coffee. So that's not a big change, but you can do a lot with one person on Monday, another person on Tuesday, another person on Wednesday. It does not have to be the same person, and they don't have to be from your household.
That's it. And
so it's about using what you've got, isn't it? And we're all sick of it. Of course we are. We're all sick to the back teeth of it and drained with it. But the benefit for us is we are set up now, after all these years of training and practicing and helping others, we are set up never to stay there, never to stay knocked down onto the floor. Yes, we might have moments where we think this is just hateful and awful and I don't know what we're going to do. But we're not going to stay there, are we?
No.
And what we're going to do instead is make the most, because it's all we can do, make the most of what is allowed to us. And that would be an example, wouldn't it? So go out, on a Monday, see friend 1, friend 2 on Tuesday, so on and so forth. And then you're seeing all of your friends probably far more often than you were.
Yes.
In 2019.
And making new ones, making new friends by throwing out that just an email or a post on your local community forum, or in your local town hall, putting up something saying, no, anyone else fancy going for a walk, or anyone else, you can structure in something, because it can be done and you can get connection that way. And you don't know what is coming to you unless you go out and take action.
No, you don't do. Something I used to think, I would accept invitations, whether they were business networking or social. I would accept invitations in the heat of the moment. I would think that would be marvelous. Yes, I would really love that. Yes, go. On the day, I wouldn't feel like going. So I had to take myself in hand. And I used to say this to myself. I used to say, if I don't go, then I just won't go, and that's all. And nothing at all will come into my life, and nothing will be different. If I go, I don't know what I will miss. There's no way of me knowing from this moment what I will miss, because and it's always, almost always, there's been a gold nugget of something that when I've gone, I think, oh, I'm really glad I didn't miss this.
And there you go.
So
that's the choice.
To think that way. Yeah. Yes, we've got to take ourselves in hand, haven't we? We cannot let ourselves wallow.
No.
And we could make that choice. And we've both had clients who have been unable to make a different choice, and we've been unable to help them there. But there's no need for it.
Yes,
because if you've chosen to wallow, then you'll be wallowing, and we can't fight against that. But so we have to take ourselves in hand and have a meeting with ourselves. Feeling a bit odd this morning, woken up a bit low.
Oh, you've frozen. Linda, you've frozen on me. Are you going to come back? Hold on, Linda. You're back. You froze. You froze on me. I knew you'd be back.
So the thing we've got to do is immediately that feeling of wallowing comes upon us. We need to call a meeting with ourselves.
That's right.
And check. So I have got a clever trick. This is the clever trick, isn't it? And the question, what you write down in the minutes, the question put to the meeting is, what is your intention? Is it A, to be miserable until someone else changes things in your world? Or B, to make the most of what you can do now? That would be the COVID situation meeting, wouldn't it?
There you go with the choice. That's the choice.
Yeah.
And
that is the
it's very helpful if you can think of a situation, if you feel stuck, write down 3 ways that you can look at perspective, 3 different ways that you can change that stuckness, change that 3 different ways, and bang, there you've got a choice. And yes, one of them, they may not feel like they're the most wonderful things in the world, but it makes you recognize that there is actually a choice there.
There is a choice.
There is.
Yes, because we're all getting carried away, me as well. We're all getting carried away that all our freedom's gone, It's not really, and it is the thing that keeps me going through the day, is I do know really we still have freedoms, and there are ways we can continue to retain freedom into the future, in spite of how bad it looks. I believe in the power of goodness. As a Christian, I believe in the power of God, and God is good, and it is goodness that will always be victorious. Yeah. So I am fueled by that faith that says it will be okay in the end. Now, sometimes, World War I, it was not okay for many years, was it?
No.
So I'm not diminishing the struggle that anyone might have, and I'm not forgetting either that I'm okay because I've only got myself to look after, and I'm in a situation with family where I live with family, so I've got company all the time. I've got my grandchildren and my
talking of
and I understand,
Linda.
Linda.
Yeah, hold on. Sorry to interrupt, but this. Hold on. Look what I've got dealing with. Right, this. Yeah. Go find one. I've had him at the door for the past 5 minutes. Oh my God. Excuse me 2 seconds. Do you know what? This is life, isn't it?
It is life. It's real life. We're real people. We're real people, Danielle. Yeah, we're not.
He's sitting on the floor going, like that. And I'm like, just what is it? There you go.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that toddler that came in with the guy's Zoom call, and it was his wife. Everybody thought it was the nanny. It wasn't. It was his wife. Kind of bent down and tried to scurry in and get the child out. And I always thought there, and nobody knew it was all right, wasn't it? We just all laughed at it.
It's real life.
It's real life with real people.
With real teenage tantrums when they're 11. And everything's the end of the world, right? Everything.
Between.
It's the end of the world. Because they're living in the present, though, truly. That's the beautiful thing about kids, though, when you think about it. They have a whole multiple choices in front of them because they live so presently, don't they? So they don't think of actions or reactions. They just don't. They're just in the present. And it's like...
So could you talk to us a bit more about, because I've said a lot now. Could you talk to us a bit more about how to use that being in the present? Because that is also another truth, isn't it? That actually, right this minute, would you be going to a party? Would you be at a barbecue?
that's exactly.
What are you missing in this very moment? Actually, that's what I'm thinking about. So can you talk to us about, because it can be one of those things, oh, just stay present. Yeah, well, how do you do it?
Okay,
can you tell us how to do it?
By staying present. So firstly, I mean, we both do different videos that we have for free of how to get in the present, and it's a technique, and it involves looking at a spot or a place that you're calm and comfortable, and it involves noticing that we have peripheral vision, and that there's much greater things going on outside us while still being very centered, concentrating on your breathing and just looking at that spot and noticing that there are sounds going on around us, and all the little things that we can feel and touch, all of those things, whilst we're still staying very looking at that spot and concentrating on the breathing. And there are videos that we've both done, and many people have, how to get in the present. But from that present place, you're not inviting in anxiety or fear, which is adding to the problems that are going on all around, you know, and it's just amplifying things that aren't real right now. Because when we're feeling something, we're missing a feeling. That's what we're missing. We're not missing, in effect, the actual thing necessarily. We're missing the feeling that we're getting when we
feeling we'd get from it. Yes.
And when you're in that present, you can very much feel where it is in your body, or how it's feeling, what that looks like to you when you're in the present. Is that feeling something that has a color attached to it? And whereabouts in your body is that feeling? Or, you know, what is it that you're missing? Is there a voice attached to what that pain is, or that feeling, or just that, you know, what is that feeling? Being curious about it and seeing if you can give yourself some more of what you're missing in the present by doing that right now. So, you know, we are a web of memories and hopes. That's who we are, aren't we? We're incredible beings, you know, and that's our imagination, and we can't lose that, because we're powerful. We are so powerful. But being very present, it doesn't take anything away. It just calls it all down to a place where it can be organized, and that imagination and that creativity can be used to expand what's inside of you, what you need more of, you know, turn that focus inwards rather than outwards. You know, that's what I would do. So presence, being present, being a child again. Like who wouldn't want to be a child again? There's no problems when you're a child. Yes, you might get, well, talking from my own experience, bullied, you know, that was pretty damn daunting. But when we were a really young child, yes, I even got bullied as a very young child, I remember. But we kind of like, okay, we brushed it off. We lived presently. We carried on. Although it did stay with me for a very long time when I was bullied as a very young person. So yes, it does stay with us. It does. But it doesn't mean that we have to bring it to today.
As I've begun to understand this, I've begun to see that all of those versions of childhood are still in there.
Yeah.
And therefore, and it's a good thing if we've got any serious ones, ones that seriously affect us. It's a good thing to, yes, get some help to get them removed.
Yeah.
But we do not have to sieve out every single thing that wasn't very helpful to us, because surely we can choose the child that was happy.
Yeah.
And bring that feeling into the present, can't we? Because it is just feelings, you're right. It is only feelings we're missing. It's not the reality. It's the feeling that reality seemed to give us.
That's right.
So we can go back to the days on the beach, or, you know, whatever moment they were. And I've noticed that with the health problem I've had for the last year, it took me a long time to notice I was not ever feeling happy.
Yeah.
Ever. And one morning, when I noticed it, was one morning, a long way in, when I'd done a lot of work, a long way in, I felt something here in my chest. And I thought, oh, what's that? I did truly. I thought, what's that feeling? It was kind of familiar, but unfamiliar. And it was happiness.
Oh,
Happiness. And I thought, that's come for no reason. I was just tidying my bed, putting my, straightening my bed off in the morning. That's all I was doing. It was that happiness that just came for no reason. And so I think, and I've not had it constant. I'm content. I am content, but that's a different thing to that uprising of happiness, isn't it? And I've had it a few more times. It's not there all the time. It's not come back like it used to be. But it is coming back. But we must not wait for it to come unannounced.
no.
I'm just realizing this now for myself. Why am I waiting?
Yes.
Why don't I choose something that used to give me that feeling and bring it into my experience now?
Give yourself more of what you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to feel more love, give yourself more love. If you want to feel more happiness, give yourself more happiness. Do the things that bring you joy on a day-to-day basis, isn't it? And that feeling, feeling.
It can be difficult to do that, because if you're a single mom and you've got the school run and everything, and you as one she's a home educator actually, but she said, oh my God, it's always buttering.
Oh, it's frozen again. Linda. Oh, Linda, darling, come back to me. Come back to me. I can't see Linda. She's coming back in a sec, I know. Internet, right? See, these are the challenges and the choices that we face on a daily basis at the moment, working from home, doing the things that we have to do live. Always the way. Linda, come back to me. I don't know. We've been going about 35 minutes anyway, and I hope that everyone that's been watching has got some focus. I think she's coming back. There, you're there.
I'm coming back, yes.
Oh, darling. Yeah, you keep disappearing. I'm like rabbiting on.
It's poor broadband is a bit iffy here.
It happens. You know what? These are the challenges we're facing, honestly, on a day-to-day basis. I get it as well. And I love doing these chats because it just brings everything, just everything just organises for me as well. So it's lovely.
We're missing the people that are not here as well, aren't we? Maybe we can say that we're not just going, oh yeah, look, I'm centre stage.
Oh gosh. No, it's not to do with that. Oh, look, we're frozen again. But yeah, no, it's not to do with that. The people that we're here is because we're doing this to give others value and also ourselves value, because it's giving us a structure as well, and just connection, that talking to people and being with the people that are like-minded, and we can all do that in everyday life as well. So it's one of these things that we can choose how we want to spend our days, who we want to surround ourselves with, the thoughts that we want to think, and everything that we need to choose. Linda's coming back. Linda, I think what we'll do is, if we sign off now, we've been going about 40 minutes anyway, but because of the internet problems, and I'm rabbiting and on and on. But I think we've talked. Is there anything else that you wanted to add?
What about focus? We've not covered focus. Well, really, have we?
See, energy flows where your focus goes. That is my saying.
Yeah.
Right? So we can choose to focus on the negative or the positive.
Yeah.
We can choose that. And back to choice again. But everything that we're focusing on can be switched up and changed, or seen from perspective, a perspective point of view. So if we're looking from perspective, that focus can diminish in a completely different way, and be softened, through other people's eyes, looking from a different point of view. What about you for focus?
do I do for focus? I think for me it's linked with intention again. So what is my intention here? Is it to wallow? No, it's not. So, right, so let's focus on something that will change.
That's right. And if you are focusing on something negative, replacing that thought, being very present and aware and realizing what you're doing, because it will be like an automatic trigger or a reaction to something, you know, that will bring back that feeling.
I know the other thing I want to speak about today as well, though, is meditation, because also there were times during this past year where I had not the energy to do any of this that I'm talking about now. I did not have the wherewithal to make any changes. That's how it felt to me. And if it feels like that and you're wallowing, well, then, it's a valid state that you could be in. And then what I would do is meditation, regular, everyday meditation. And it has been proven that if you meditate for 8 weeks, I think that's 56 days, it will make neurological changes. Wow. It's been proven. And there are lots of apps available. I always recommend guided meditation, because I find myself, it's a tough call if you've just got to lie down there and stop thoughts coming in and do something with your own mind. But if all you have to do is sit or lie down and listen and be guided by that person. So when she says, just let your jaw relax, just let your jaw relax, you're kind of taken up and held for the period of that meditation.
It's funny you should say that, actually. I did a guided meditation that I wrote myself, which I love it. And I was so proud of it. And it's on my YouTube channel. And it's a release from lockdown, a guided meditation released from lockdown.
Oh, brilliant. Put the link in your comment.
Yeah. I'll put the link in. But I was really proud of that. And I put, I really loved it. I loved writing it. And do you know what? I haven't listened to it for a long time. I'm going to listen to it now after this, I think, because it was really good. It was about being in the castle, if I remember rightly. It was being in a castle, and then the stained glass windows, and just shining a beam of moonlight into the lighting up the room. And I can't remember quite what I wrote. It was really good, though.
It was good, excellent. And it helped you. Did you write it for yourself initially?
Well, everything that we do is for ourselves and others, right? Like, because it is dual purpose. So it kind of focuses your again. It focuses your mind onto what you want to see more of in the world.
Does. And it will. So I did 2 live Facebook lives this week, Tuesday and Thursday, and it was detailed about meditation, both of them. Meditation was Thursday, the solution. To Tuesday was a lot of detail about the problem.
Oh, wow.
And I did research for that. I didn't just go with what I thought I knew about meditation. I did research, and it was so exciting what I found out. And it will lift your energy, because you've got to do something. You've got no energy. You're lying on the ground, wallowing in a pool of tears. And you can't be helped, and you don't even believe there's any help anyway that exists. And so so what can you do that requires very little doing from you? And meditation is just ideal, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Regular meditation.
Yeah.
And not just one-off.
Practice.
And not just once a week. It would be better than nothing, but to get the neurological changes.
Wonderful.
Which is what you want, then it's daily. And I think if your day does not have in it, because a 5-minute meditation is not going to do it, but 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Yeah. If your day doesn't have 20 minutes in it that you could call your own, then you've got serious scheduling problems that you need to address first.
Then you need to go to the toilet for a long time.
Yes, shut yourself in the toilet. Although, you know, there's lots of single parents will be going, oh no, when I go, the 2 dogs are in there. The toddler, the baby's got to come with me. The toddler will be knocking on the door.
Again, challenging times that people are facing, and flipping hats off to you all, credit to you, and you are doing it. You're resilient.
Yes, and in everything I say, I want to say this, in everything I say, I'm talking about you wallowing and so on. There is no blame laid at your door, no blame whatsoever. It never, ever is your fault. It is where you find yourself in your capabilities, in your resources, in your circumstances.
Yeah.
It's never your fault.
We're all doing our best. We're all doing our best.
Doing our best with what we've got.
And celebrate that fact, because I'll tell you what, when you look back on it, you're going through it, you're doing it, you're getting there, and celebrate every day with what you've done, because it may be the smallest thing, but it's the biggest thing, you know. And when you look back on it, you're going to go, how the hell did I get through that?
Do you know what it's going to replace? It's going to replace that thing in the north anyway. I don't know about down south, but in the north, there's always the story about, oh, when I was your age, I had to walk 10 miles to school in bare feet. You know, there's that spoof story. It's going to replace that.
Yeah.
Oh, when I was your age,
we were stuck at home.
We were under house arrest. We couldn't go out.
God, it's just making the best of what you can do in the present, right here, right now. What's important right now. And do you know what? If there's something that you need to do,
what's important right now.
You know what's important right now, and it won't matter if it gets put off till tomorrow or the next day. And if it does matter, then you focus on that, and you do one thing, do it step by step. Make a list. The things on that list, tick them off as you're doing it. And the things that aren't important, you are allowed to leave them. You can leave them as long as you need to, because it's okay.
There's no inspector coming round, is there? Not even a COVID marshal coming round to see how you're doing. And have you done all your jobs?
The only spotlight is on yourself. You're putting your own spotlight on yourself, you know. So just focus that spotlight where it needs to be, rather than on everything, because everything's can be just so overwhelming and too much, you know. Break it down.
I think that I'm just thinking to myself, there's a lot of what we've said today. Some of it I've said, but it was new to me. Some of it you've said that I don't want to forget. So I'm thinking now, I'm going to play this video back.
I do.
And take notes.
Oh, yeah, writing down.
Write it down so that I don't forget to implement these things. Some of which were new, or some of which I just needed reminding of. I'm not doing it all the time. So can we recommend that to whoever's listening? If you've got value from this, play it again. Get pen and paper, or pen and a book. No, because the paper, it just adds to the mess, and you don't remember where you put it anyway. So pen and a book. Treat yourself to some stationery. A good pen, really good pen, and a nice, pretty book.
I love that. Journaling.
Journal, yes. I've written about journaling as well this week. Journaling.
Join Linda's page if you're watching, because Linda always puts out tons of good
things. Yes, join her page, which is Total Life Makeover. Yeah. And you don't have to totally make your life over in day one.
No. It's, you know what, it's just, it's baby steps.
Baby steps, tiny steps. Yes.
All we need to do, just something, anything. Even if it's just getting out of bed sometimes. Even if it's getting out of bed, making yourself something that you enjoy to drink, and sitting back down again, put your feet up, drink your special drink, watching a film that you love. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. And
absolutely. At the beginning of my health problem, which involved chronic pain all the time, and therefore not sleeping, I would get up, put my dressing gown on. That's all that ever happened. Dressing gown on. And I would go, I could get a bit of respite if I put my legs up on the sofa, sideways on the sofa. And I would get cushions in my back and a cushion between my head and the back of the sofa. And I would doze because I'd a huge sleep debt and no energy whatsoever, and was drained by this pain, this seemingly out of my control pain. And I would do that. But no one in the family I was, my daughter and her family, in our family, we understand you do what you can do. And no one ever made any snippy comments about, oh, still in your dressing gown at tea time. Not, they might, it would be lovingly if anything was commented, or the kids might laugh at it.
Yeah.
That's all. But I was allowed, so this is the point I'm making. I was, with the people I was living with, I was allowed to only do what I could possibly do.
That's right.
And we should give ourselves that permission too, shouldn't we?
Definitely. Right.
We're all doing well.
We're doing our best. We're flipping are, and we're getting through. And with a bit of luck, well, I mean, having Ethan back at school on March the 8th.
Well, that's a blessing.
I mean, the thing is, it's just I feel for them because they haven't got their friends around them, you know?
No.
Everything's screen time. It's so difficult, you know, like getting them out. We go out for the odd, you know, the walk or whatever, or a bit of football, or, you know, in the park, or, you know, whatever it may be. But that's that much of your day. It's like, the rest of it it's, you know, okay, a bit of reading, but still that's what they're doing. They're playing their games with their friends, you know.
Yeah.
It's
and it's fragmented, isn't it? The day is fragmented because the old routines can't happen.
I just want them to get back to just connection. Like, we all need that connection, and we will get it. But just know that, yeah, this time, this lockdown is just, it's just tiring. It's long, and it's you know, it is just a process. I'd say it's a process. But if you just try and stay present and like deal with every day in its own entity, every second, every minute, every hour, you know, and you know, if you're getting those thoughts, know that there is a choice to choose a different thought, and that you can, and you're allowed, and the ones that don't serve you, to recognize that and replace them with a different thought. So yeah.
And in my treasure chest, which I'll put the link in the comments, in my treasure chest there's the blue bowl, which is just a little simple procedure for you to get that thought out of your mind.
Yeah.
And put it in the blue bowl. There's a way to do it and a way that it wouldn't work. So read it, go to it and read it. But just put that thought in the blue bowl, shut the lid, and then there's a little bit more to the process.
I remember that you did that with us that time. That was brilliant, Linda. Yeah, explain that a little bit more, because that was really good.
Okay, so the blue bowl is a beautiful Italian glass, merino glass. Blue bowl. It's one of those stylish things. You're not going to be making pancakes in it, you know. It's one of those really wide but shallow, a thick glass that you would just have on your dining table for fancy. But it's got a lid, and the lid is beautiful as well. The lid is a light coloured wood, and it's got a grain in it, and it's got not shiny varnish, it's got a matte varnish on it. And it sits tight on the top of the bowl. It sits tight because underneath that lid is just a circle of cork. So it doesn't clip on or anything. So everything that goes in the bowl is always available to you. It's not locked in. You're not suppressing. So as you sit that lid on the bowl, it will seal itself because the cork goes right to the edge of the bowl. So when you have a thought that we've been telling you and you're thinking, oh, that's easier said than done. And we've been saying, just get rid of that thought, get it out of your mind. So you take it out of your mind. You can do this anywhere you like. You can see yourself with your imagination that Danielle's already spoken of. We've all got imagination. We're imagining the misery. So, of course, we've still got imagination. So you may see yourself taking it out. You might do a Harry Potter with a wand and you take that silver thread of that thought and put it in the blue bowl. But however you do it, won't matter. You put that thought in the blue bowl, you lift up the lid. I only lift it up a little bit because there's all sorts in my blue bowl. And just shove it in, shut the lid quickly. Now, then you've left a space where that thought was. So now you choose something else to put in that place.
Nice.
And it could be a happy thought, or it could be just something neutral. It really doesn't matter. You take your focus away from what's in the blue bowl by giving yourself another focus. So you might now decide to plan dinner, to think about what's the dinner and what time do I need to start cooking it, or it can be something quite neutral. And then whenever, because it might be something that you will have to address at some time. You might be anxious that there's not enough money in the bank, for example. That might be what's making you miserable. So you will have to address it. And as soon as you are ready to address it with a positive solution, you will just think of it again and it will come out of the blue bowl. So there's no fear of suppressing, squashing anything down.
Yeah.
And it's simple to do. It's ever so easy to do.
It's wonderful. It's so visual. It's such a beautiful thing.
And there's a picture of the blue bowl on. I'll put the link into the treasure chest. And if you go to the blue bowl products.
Do you know what? That's just given me an idea. But your blue bowl with the lid, it would actually quite work with people writing down their feelings and putting it into a sealed bowl and just putting it there.
Yes,
just working it. Yeah, not only mentally and visualizing it, but you're physically doing it at the same time.
Yeah.
Put it in there.
And why I created it the way it was given to me. How it became given to me is, I think I was looking for, how do you get negative thoughts out of your mind without suppressing them? Because we mustn't suppress them. They need to be listened to, don't they?
That's right.
So yes, and you can write your stuff down and burn it, can't you? But I'm not keen on that idea, because it seems to be diminishing it. It seems to be saying, no, I'm just destroying you. Yeah. And I suppose feelings and emotions can't be destroyed, can they? They can be converted.
Yes, they can be
or resolved.
Resolved, yeah.
Yeah. So that would be a good idea. So a feeling can go in the bowl as well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's just an idea. So listen, I'm going to sign off now. We've been an hour, and the internet made it.
Yes, it managed to get there.
I love you, Linda. I love you.
You are lovely, Danielle. What I was saying when the internet went was, the group of us, the full group of us, when we're in committee, are so attuned to each other, aren't we? That we don't have a script for this. Nobody says, well, will you talk about this and you talk about that? We can just flow because we are all on the same page.
Yeah, we just chat, and I'm flipping forever grateful. I love it. I love you with all my heart. And I'm going to sign off and say, everybody, I hope you got value from this, because I flipping feel good now.
Yes, me too. I'm going to get my book and pen.
Yeah, and watch it again. And it's a myriad of choices we have. Make that choice. Decide to feel good. Choose to feel happy. So lots of love. I'll write everything in the description when I upload it again. And hopefully, all being well, we'll see you next week. I don't know what we'll talk about, but we shall decide. I love you all. Bye for